Hi, my name's April Orcutt, and I'm a freelance journalist who writes about travel and total solar eclipses. And earlier, I was a college professor, and before that, a producer of public affairs and documentary television programs. My first job was on an astronomy college telecourse called Project Universe, hosted by Dr. Edwin Krupp from the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. I'm also an eclipsophile, and I've been lucky enough to see 4 total solar eclipses. Which button? There we go. A joke among journalists is that editors love bright, shiny objects. That is, editors want stories that stand out. Bling! And no subject is a better bright, shiny object than a total solar eclipse. The problem is people who have not yet experienced a total solar eclipse don't understand how cool it is. They don't get what the fuss is about. Some don't even understand what a total eclipse of the sun is. One town's Eclipse Fest website, featuring many fun activities, showed a beautiful photograph of a total eclipse of the moon. Okay. Moon, total eclipse of the moon. I emailed them twice before they finally changed it. When pitching your information, give the press a vivid and accurate picture so they're intrigued by your information. Editors and writers get hundreds of emails a day, so yours needs to stand out. You have to hook them in the first few words. That means avoiding press releases like, the Townville Science Center and the Townville Town Council are pleased to announce that this coming spring, on April 8th, 2024, something very special will happen in Townville. No, instead add pizzazz. Hook them, grab them, paint a glorious picture. I've used this lead in some pitches. The universe has gone beautifully awry. The temperature drops. Daylight darkens eerily. Dots of sunlight on the ground turn into crescents. Sunlight on pale colors starts to ripple as though reflected through a swimming pool. Then the moon fully covers the sun, which instantly turns into a black dot in the sky, surrounded by a diaphanous halo and stars and planets. If watching a total solar eclipse is not the most incredible experience you can have, it has few competitors. Present your most important information in a concise first paragraph. Many people don't read beyond the first paragraph of email. My query for a travel story started with a lot of information in a few words. The tourism industry is buzzing because it's time to plan your trip of a lifetime to see the astounding total solar eclipse next spring. Many towns in the eclipse path are planning special activities to celebrate this rare event. The amazing phenomenon where the moon blots out the sun so viewers can see the ethereal solar corona reaching out from the sun like a gauzy sunflower casts a 125-mile wide path from Mazatlan in Mexico to Newfoundland in Canada. On several occasions, when I've pitched an eclipse story, editors have said, let's make this a travel story instead, because they don't understand eclipses. So the story changed from, you've got to see this incredible celestial event, to chasing a total solar eclipse as an excuse to travel. And that's okay. What's the focus of the publication you're contacting? What at your event would appeal to their audience? Children's activities, science education, spiritual experiences, cosmic curiosity, food, music, beer. So I have a request. Please emphasize total solar eclipse. None of this 99% stuff. Get readers to drive those last few miles to get into the path of totality. Find an analogy to show that seeing a 99% partial solar eclipse is not the same as eating 99% of a pizza. I've written that 99% is like driving your kids 99% of the way to Disneyland and then turning around and going home without going into the park. Alas, my favorite almost analogy, I can't tell you because it's X-rated. But you can go home and talk to your partner and see if the two of you can figure it out. That was the totality slide. Okay. Unfortunately, some eclipsophiles, not the people in this photo, unfairly book 4 or 5 hotels in the path of totality and cancel all but one reservation a few days before the eclipse. So here's another important fact to include. Tell people to keep trying to get lodging, even days before the eclipse, because hotels will open up. Here are a few more tips for connecting with editors, writers, or producers. Know the names of the media people you're contacting. Look on the publication's websites or call the receptionist to ask their names. Make your requests personal and spell their names correctly. Tailor your press releases to the goals of the media you're contacting. Put the most important information in a memorable and concise first paragraph. Keep subject lines in emails short. Get straight to the point, like headlines do. Make the subject of your press release or email a potential headline for the story you want them to tell. Here are headlines from past eclipse stories. For a luxury travel magazine, where to see next year's total solar eclipse in style. Other ones have been create a stellar experience for the 2024 total solar eclipse. Eclipsophiles dance and frolic during minutes of darkness. Totally awesome. Eclipse chasing is a perfect excuse to travel. An experience that eclipses all. Total eclipse reveals world seldom seen. Chasing the moon's shadow. For podcasts and radio shows, emphasize the soundscape. My favorite example was when my husband and I, and this is a personal photo, not a pro photo, when my husband and I saw our first total eclipse in Hawaii in 1991. We had to get up at 4 a.m. It was overcast. We're driving around trying to find a place where there was sun. And he was grousing. He's a nice person, but he was grousing, complaining, whining. We could be on the beach. We could sleep in, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And when totality hit, he screamed for 4 minutes straight. So find ways to create vivid imagery to intrigue readers and editors to reach for the most amazing of bright, shiny objects, the total eclipse of the sun.